If you ever wanted to make money with affiliate marketing or take your results to the next level, then you need to learn from the best. Meet Topher, co-founder and CEO of Giddyup, an affiliate network that has generated over $2 billion in sales. In this video, we're breaking down what it really takes to succeed in affiliate marketing. So you're going to learn how to avoid some of the biggest mistakes that stop most affiliates from making money, what separates top earning affiliates from the rest, and where the biggest opportunities in affiliate marketing are right now. But that's not all. We're also going to reveal the best performing products that are making money for affiliates right now, how much the average affiliate actually makes, and most importantly, how you can get access to these exclusive products.
But first off, I'm excited to have you at ATO. I love what you guys are doing. I think I met you six years ago and you were already crushing it. And yeah, I wanted to ask you, how did you start Giddyup?
So yeah, thanks for coming and for inviting us to be a headline sponsor. We're really excited about what you're doing. I got started in the industry because two of my business partners were already in the industry, and they had this crazy idea of, hey, what if we took this world of like paid media affiliates, but we did white hat? What if we found new products, like all these new products in the market? What if we went after them and we did it legit, right? There were so many really talented marketers, but a lot of them were either selling products that weren't really quality or weren't helping shoppers, or there were quality products, but they had crappy commissions, they didn't have funnels that were needed. So their idea was like high paid performance marketing meets quality white hat products, and let's smash that together. And, you know, earnestly, just not to toot my own horn, I didn't get it at first, right? I was like, I don't know about this, guys. You know, like I come from the traditional world of SaaS, doing marketing for software companies. And they're like, hey, let's prove it to you. So we actually had a friend from Santa Barbara who's an affiliate, and he had a friend that invented a product called Tile, which was actually a precursor to Tracker. And it was during crowdfunding that we actually helped them sell a bunch. And I think we did like $7.5 million in sales in the first 90 days. This was in 2013. And so that was like that. They had this hypothesis. I was like, I don't know. And they're like, let's test it. And so they did. Our friend smashed it. There was only a few marketers that were on it. And the thing that stood out to me was this, like the power of an incentive. Like this guy just gave us a $20 commission, and all of a sudden 5 of the best marketers I know were jumping on it. They were all making their own ads, they were making their own funnels, they were actually helping the business like with their unit economics. And I was like, you couldn't pay these guys to come and work on your campaign. But if you give them an incentive, you can attract the best marketers ever, right?
At first, I thought you would build your own products to run them yourselves, but then you immediately gave it to other affiliates. So what were the obstacles you faced?
After we had that first proof of concept, that was before we started the company. So right after that, we decided to start the company, and we went and sold like 3 or 4 advertisers to come on and started crushing it right out of the gate. And we were doing it mostly with you know, publishers, email lists. We went to the first affiliate summit as a company, and I was shocked. You know, I hadn't been in the affiliate world, so like I remember walking down the hallway like the first day, and somebody's just shouting in the air, I'm making millions, I'm the boss of this place. And I'm like, where did you guys take me? You know, right? Like, anyway, so we have 10 meetings in, you know, 3 days, and the goal is to get some media buyers on, because we already have a bunch of publishers and, you know, email lists. And so, you know, my partners, they know all these marketers, right? Because they're affiliates and they've been in the industry. And 9 out of 10 of them just laughed at us, right? They just were like, yeah, these products, they're not gonna work. How are you gonna sell it if you don't like put Oprah on the ad, you know, like all this kind of stuff. And, you know, the first person that believed in us, the 1 out of 10, you know, had been in the black hat world for a long time, really sharp guy. And he's like, yeah, this is the direction that it's all going. This is the direction of the ad platforms. Yeah. The bigger these things get, like, you know, you can only get so big breaking the rules before you get shut down, you know. And so he saw it, and they invested quite a bit of time and effort to get a bunch of campaigns working with us. At the end of the day, I remember, you know, going to Barcelona and doing like a dinner. I think we called it like the sombrero blanco, like the white hat dinner, you know. And he was showing his numbers, and it was like the first 3 years they did 90 million in commissions from just Giddyup products. And 90, yeah, 90. And I was like, okay, well, he was the smart guy, the 1 out of 10 that decided to do it, right? And we've seen that subsequently, you know? There's still a lot of people doing gray hat, black hat stuff, making lots of money, but the people that actually believe in white hat, they're able to crush it, and, you know, they can sleep at night.
It is a mindset switch, because black hat being so accessible and so easy to see quick returns makes it appealing for people that have short-term vision of the business. But I made so much more money with white hat. All my friends that scaled hard is only white hat stuff. And a lot of people don't go beyond that. Like, they think like, oh, I'm getting a commission, I'm gonna mess up the relationship with whoever is on the other side buying my traffic, either an e-commerce owner or in pay-per-call, and they just go bit by bit. They still make money, but they burn all these bridges and relationships, and then it's just a race to a lower payout. The lower your payout, the more aggressive your marketing becomes, and the lower quality and the worse it is for the space. But at the same time, affiliates are the best media buyers on planet Earth.
Totally.
Because they have the right incentive. Giddyup grew massively in all these years. Can you share how much revenue you guys are doing every year?
So, I mean, there's different ways of like looking at revenue, right? Whether it's net income, or, you know, how much we pay for affiliates, or how much we do in GMV. Normally I talk about total sales volume, because as a platform company, I know I mentioned this to you, but we own our own e-commerce platform and our own funnel tech, and so we're actually looking at that number. But then there's a bigger number that we also track, which is how much total sales that happen through the halo effect as well. Because one thing you'll know about e-commerce and what we do is, you know, for every dollar we generate on our own funnels, we also generate about between 50 cents and $1 on Amazon, because
brand awareness.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
the search traffic you're generating.
over 100 million households, right, have Amazon Prime, so, you know, people trust that platform, and a lot of these products also are sold on the individual. So, you know, in general, we like to look at the total number of sales that our affiliates are driving, because that's the math that we look at. And right now, that's, you know, a couple $100 million a year that we're pushing through you know, our system. And I think we're at a couple $1 billion in sales total now since we started.
And how much are you paying your affiliates every year, more or less?
Yeah. So I like to think about it monthly, because we actually pay every week. And so generally most weeks we're actually paying, you know, millions of dollars every month. So it depends on the month, right? Depends on the time of year, but it's every month is over $1 million, and generally it's multiple millions every month.
Yeah, affiliate is dead, so stay away. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, like you mentioned, in our world, it's not that the advertisers are coming with a budget.
Yeah.
We come with math that works, and if the affiliate can make it work, really the sky is the limit. As much money as the affiliate can make, right? Like, we're happy for them to pay. Often the limitation is how much can be produced, right?
The stock, the inventory.
Yeah, the inventory. So, you know, like when a product...
That's the worst problem.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Most products, if they're successful in our world, they'll go on back order for a period of time. We have to help the brand manage a back order and help work with the affiliate to keep the traffic going, right? Because you don't want to stop the demand. It could just tank. But at the same time, you have to make sure people are getting their products, right?
So what separates a top affiliate from the rest, in your opinion?
I think the big thing that separates a top affiliate from, you know, all of the affiliates, first it starts with mindset. You know, it's like one of those things where when we look at a product, we have to say, do we think this is a good product? Do we think shoppers are going to like this? And do we think we can sell it, right? And the key is, do we believe we can sell it, right? And so that's how Giddyup starts. The same happens with an affiliate marketer. They have to look at the products and say, I think I can sell this, and I think that if I do sell it, customers are going to like it, so I can sell it for a long time, right? If I figure it out, there's going to be a big upside. So the first thing is they have to believe. They have to believe in themselves. They have to believe in the product. They have to believe in the company they're working with. So I think it starts with a mindset. And then I think that, like, when you really look at it, like I did this analysis with our chief revenue officer to say, hey, what separates, you know, the great affiliates from the mediocre affiliates? And one thing that we find is they have a much higher win rate. And when I ask my team, like, hey, why do they have a higher win rate? Why are they more successful on the offers than average, than, you know, everybody, in terms of, you know, how many people send clicks versus how many people scale, right? And what we find is they have a better testing strategy, you know? They actually have a way that they, like, methodically go through how they pick an offer, how they send the first traffic. They don't expect necessarily that they're going to be in the black right away because they're testing enough stuff that maybe some things in the black and a bunch of other things doesn't work. They go through an iterative process to figure out how to scale what they're doing. They're data driven. Generally, the top media buyers like to, run the experiment, look at the data, make tweaks, look at the data, make tweaks. It's something that, like, if you're not good at looking at the numbers, I think that's a problem. Generally, they have a good eye for creative, so they'll actually look at what's going to be scroll stopping, right? What is the hook that's going to get people to buy? I know that one of the things that I think has made us successful is we have really good marketers on the team that are focused on, hey, what's the hook that's going to sell this product? What's the hook in the ad that's going to get people to click? What's the hook that's going to get people to buy? So I think that ultimately that's something that usually separates people. The marketers that are good at that usually win.
Yeah, product picking is the first. In fact, I was going to ask you if you can share what your top products are currently.
Our top products change kind of by quarter. A lot of the stuff is very seasonal. We're having this interview in the middle of Q1, so the products that are generally working are health products, our fitness products, our products that are about bettering people's lives. We have a couple new products that are doing well right now. A product that helps people with their, whiten their teeth. Products that help people with their gut biome, these different types of products. But we also have some products that are helping people, just with their lung health and all these other, health products that are kind of crushing Q1. I think we actually just sent an email out to all of our marketers about our top performers right now.
Yeah, I do have newsletters. And actually, the product that helps your lungs, I actually saw it in stores in Dubai.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, I forgot the name, but I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this product before.
That Air Physio product.
Air Physio, yeah, that was
Air
it.
Physio is a cool product.
Yeah. Would you look for affiliates before letting them in? Because I know you're very picky with who you let in Giddyup.
Yeah. So, with affiliates, we actually like to know people, or for them to know people we know.
Yeah.
So often the easiest way to get into Giddyup is to know somebody that works with Giddyup and to get a recommendation,
And the best place to do so is at the conference, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. At the conference, come meet us. That's a great way to know it. The fact is, we like doing business with people, not numbers.
Correct. Yeah, that was my realization when I went to the first conference, that you switch from being affiliate ID 356 to, oh, you're Alex. Yeah, I met you at the conference. Totally. And then there was one network, they wouldn't let me in. I was 18. I went there, super shy. I was like, hi, I'm running this. Can you open an account? Yeah, dude, for sure. And I was like this shy kid that went to the first conference, and then every door opened up.
Right?
And it was the best thing ever.
Totally.
Because it makes a big difference.
I think, like I was saying before, the easiest way to get into Giddyup is to know somebody that knows us or does business with us. So we let people come in through Scalers. We have that agreement ultimately that if people go through your courses and people know you, then that's somebody we're going to let in. But again, that's because we know that you're training people to do the right thing, right? So ultimately, we're looking for people to know what they're doing, because it's not our business to train people on how to become affiliates. So we want you to already have some experience generally, or at least be taught by somebody, Yeah.
And if they don't behave, eliminate.
Yeah. I know lots of networks that are happy to be like, we have 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 affiliates. But I mean, the reality is that just seems like a liability to us.
Yeah, what are usually the biggest mistakes you see that affiliates make, like new affiliates?
The thing that most affiliates make the mistake on is they don't have a strong testing strategy. Because if you don't have a good strategy to pick the right products, then, if you're not successful right out of the gate, the first thing you do is just go to another product, right? And if you do that over and over again, you're going to have a low hit rate. You're just not going to have a very good average, right?
Yeah, I don't test products if I don't have the usual 3 things I look at, which are brand reputation, videos, and commission ratios to cost to consumer. Totally. So if I see if someone has a $100 product, they're paying out $20, I'm like, I'm not going to test this product because it's likely going to be hard to convert.
I think the other thing that I see a lot of new affiliates make, and it's probably just because of the affiliate industry as a whole and how other networks work, is they don't share information with their affiliate managers. Our affiliate managers aren't here to learn from you and then go take that information to somebody else. If the more that you give them, the more that they'll give you. So they actually invest in people. So if you look at the top 10, 20 marketers in our network, they have a tight relationship with their affiliate manager. Yeah. They share what's going on. They share where their break-even point is. If they need a couple bucks, they use data to sell, right? And so I think that that's one thing that a lot of affiliates keep everything close to their chest. But ultimately, I've seen the best ones are the ones that actually will open up the books and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can you help me? And that actually makes the best case for us to go to the advertiser and help them, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like if you ask for a better payout, you can provide more volume. If you're not having that open conversation, that never comes out. And it's an opportunity for both, for you to have more volume and profits, for the affiliates to start spending more. And I feel like the majority of the money that I was able to make as soon as I started scaling was exactly through these conversations, by having a better relationship, by curating, getting some face-to-face time, talking about whatever, like just as human beings. And then also understanding each other's needs to have like, yo, actually, I noticed that my best days are on weekends. Can you give me a $10 boost in payout, $20, whatever it is? Because I'm pretty sure that if I have that little extra, I can start spending $10,000 a day more during those days, if not more.
Totally. So I think that asking is important, but also giving the why, sharing the reasons, actually like sharing the data. I've just seen that people that just ask often don't get the answers, but if they're like, hey, this is why, like let's work together, there can be a nice collaboration that a lot of people don't get.
And you also do give exclusivity to some products and on specific platforms if a partner does exceptionally well. Right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We don't need a bunch of people in the same market competing with each other, you know.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's better to have a few partners have success.
But to get there, to set expectations, you need to drive solid numbers for an extended period of time to be worth it for you. Because you're going to take a risk to shut down other, even smaller affiliates, but they're still bringing consistent traffic and give it to someone. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to have exclusivity. I was like, yeah, but how do I get it? I was like, well, it needs to be worth it. Because if you have $20,000 days, but then you go back to $2,000, $5,000, or you don't have the, it's a business. Like if you're the sole affiliate and you fuck up, and the brand, you can't send traffic one day to another, the brand you're dealing with is going to have an issue.
Yeah, I think the other thing is people earn exclusivity because they invest in campaigns. Yeah. So one way to get exclusivity, like we talked about, is actually to build creatives, right? If you have a creative that no other marketer has, we're gonna shut anyone down that rips you off, right? Because you made that thing. But at the same time, if you're investing in campaigns, you have a stronger ask for exclusivity. If you're just using the stuff we give you and you're not giving us any feedback on how to make the offer better, right? You're not like telling us like, hey, I think we can make the offer better or perform better if we change these things on the funnel.
Yeah, upsell more.
You're not really like the type of marketer we're gonna give exclusivity to. Especially if you're kind of like always distracted by the shiny object too. We don't want to give exclusivity to somebody that's there for a month and then gone the next month, right? That actually hurts not just us, but it hurts the brand, you know?
Yeah.
And we have to manage both relationships, right? With the brand and the affiliate, and so.
Yeah, because a lot of affiliates, I mean, they're solos. So they don't understand that if they're moving like 500 orders a day even, it feeds, I don't know how many families on the brand side, because so many people are packing the products, shipping them, curating everything, the website, like it's a whole team behind.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of affiliate too, because you don't have to deal with it, but you have everything happening in the background. But you need to keep that in mind, because if you, oh, I want to run traffic, okay, I'm just going to turn it off because I'm not making enough profit. That's a bad way to think about a relationship. Totally. So I often run products at loss just because I want to keep the partners happy and figure ways out together that we can improve the campaign, have better AOVs in the back end, transforming into better payouts as an affiliate.
And sometimes even when, like our advertisers usually run pretty thin margins, because they're building a business,
They're building a business and they're going to profit probably in the future.
From the customers, but also they benefit from untracked sales, like unattributed sales, like those sales on Amazon, for instance, the Halo. So they factor those in to the payouts that they provide to people.
Yeah, because as soon as the affiliate traffic stops,
the sales stop, right?
The sales stop also on Amazon.
So they can see it, but they can't. It's not direct, right? They don't know one for one what it is. They can see that the impact of it, and so they factor it into their sales, and so they're willing to invest in it. But often if a marketer's running break even and they don't shut off, but they say like, hey, I want to figure this out, but I just need runway to do that. We can often go to the brand and get a budget to actually help, with the payout for a period of time and say, hey, for the next 1,000 sales, we're going to give you like a $5 bump. For the brand, that's a $5,000 investment in keeping an affiliate going for a period of time.
And it's golden.
Yeah, and it allows the affiliate to continue to test things and figure out like, is there an opportunity here? And even if not, that's a small cost for, if you think about it, if a brand goes out to market and tries to get something scaling, they're going to spend a lot more than that.
Oh, I was signed right away. If it was my brand, I was like, yeah, sure, take $10,000 extra bump, but as long as I can have.
The best marketers, they ask.
Where do you see Giddyup in 5 years?
Yeah, great question. I think we're going to continue doing the core that we've always been doing, which is finding great products, bringing it to marketers, continuing to be on the cutting edge of what creative is working. I think we're going to continue to diversify the types of marketers we work with. We're expanding to work with more publishers, influencers, as well as paid media people. But in general, we want to continue to be the best at what we do, and just grow that. So we've been really just focused on continuing to grow that. Other than that, we're investing in technology that I think will continue to do what we've always done, in the sense that we want to provide better experiences and better EPC for marketers, and to give them the materials to be able to find an edge in the marketplace, right? And so we're continuing to invest not only in our business development for new products and new offers, but our biggest investment is in technology that helps our marketers make more money.
Cool. And how do you see the affiliate space in general? Like, I remember your speech, I think it was in 2018, in Barcelona at the Other conference, and you were just giving a picture of how big the market is becoming, the online marketing space, the e-commerce sales, etc., and how big the affiliate marketing industry is, and how it's. So where do you see that? Like, where are we now, and where do you see it going in the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, so I'm glad that you referenced that, because I continue to look at those graphs. They continue to be produced, and we're actually ahead of where we thought we were going to be back in 2019. COVID actually accelerated the growth of e-commerce, right? And as e-commerce continues to grow, digital advertising also grows as people spend more time on their devices. Mm-hmm. And so there continues to be new markets, right? A lot of people are now doing in-app, like in mobile gaming and things like that, which wasn't a big thing 5 years ago. And so there continues to be more in digital marketing, and affiliates continue to grow at an accelerated rate. There's still people going after the quick money and the black hat things, but that has a low barrier of entry. Everyone can jump on, and it doesn't last long. You're always just jumping to the next trend ultimately. We have offers that we've been running for 10 years, right? And they're still doing tens of millions of dollars every year. And so I think that the people that are going to be most successful are the ones that say, hey, I'm a media buyer, I'm a really great media buyer, I'm going to continue to do that, I'm going to continue to invest in the skills, creative, learning platforms, staying up with regulation, and monetize that. I see a lot of people who, they get good at one thing and then they want to try to be good at everything. But what I would tell most people is stay in your lane, be the best at it, promote yourself as the best at it, keep investing in that network. Take the money that you make at the end of the year and, put it in compound interest, let it stay there. If you divide your focus too much on too many things, you're often gonna, you're gonna lose the most important thing, right, to you.
Yeah, for years, that's the only thing I did were hooks and VSLs. Mm-hmm. That's it. So now I've got to a point where I'm like, okay, I've done it for many, many years. I coached a few people that are outside of my business. Now I started coaching people inside my business to replicate the same results. But it costs me to get there. It's not like, oh, I did one good year, okay, fine, let's outsource this right away. No, actually, I went through a lot of phases in my campaigns, and I'm also running brands since the same brand since 5 years. Totally. And it keeps working. Why? Because of that laser focus and I see in general, all the top affiliates that I see. Speaking of which, what does a top affiliate, in your opinion, generate a year?
In terms of top line revenue, or in terms of
top line revenue? Yes.
Yeah, generally tens of millions of dollars is what they're doing. So I've seen people do big numbers that would look like it's going to be 9 figures a year, but generally that doesn't last as long as people think it is. It's just they have 2,000 sales a day for a period of time, But generally, it's the biggest affiliates are doing in the somewhere between 10 and $50 million a year.
50,
yeah. In terms of the paid media space, obviously publishers can do more than that. Yeah. Media buyers that build companies and infrastructure around it can do more than that as well. Yeah. But I would say most of the people you're talking about, the kind of solo affiliates, or affiliates. 2 or 3.
Myself.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that a good year would be somewhere between 5 and 50 million, and the top people are in the 8-figure realm.
What do you tell to people that believe that the market is too saturated and that affiliate is long gone?
Yeah. Well, I think they're right in some regard, in the sense that it was a lot easier 10 years ago, 20 years ago. A lot of people made a fortune with less work, But in terms of is there still opportunity? There's more on the table than there ever was, you know? So while there might be more people competing, if you're worried about competition, you probably shouldn't get involved, you know? But if you like to compete, it's a great place, right? And so it's kind of like saying like, well, there's a lot of footballers now. Maybe I shouldn't learn how to play soccer. It's like, yeah, if you have that attitude, you probably should stay out of it, you know, because there's people that are going to kick your butt.
Yeah, but if there is competition, it means it works.
Yeah, yeah.
And you want competition.
Of course.
And also you can bring affiliate to places that doesn't exist yet, to other countries, to other verticals, and add your added value. For example,
Totally.
I've seen spaces where e-commerce, for example, is so advanced in terms of creatives and the quality that you need for your content, but there are other verticals where that is simply not true.
People that are worried about competition, people that are worried about oversaturation, I think they're thinking about the wrong thing. I think they should be looking for where is the opportunity in the market? Where is that new thing? Where is the place that this revolutionary model that didn't really exist, you know, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, where could this benefit the world, you know? And so I think they're just thinking too small-minded.
20 years ago it was easier, but 20 years ago you didn't have YouTube channels speaking about it or teaching you. There was no guide, like we didn't learn it from anyone. We just went in the trenches and did it ourselves.
And what you'll find is people that find the new traffic channel, it's always like, in the beginning, it's always easier, and then people hear about it, and they hear about it, and they hear about it, and then it becomes saturated. But people still, you know, like I remember 15 years ago talking to people about Facebook, and they're like, that'll never work, you know? And now everyone's on Facebook. Yeah. But we still make money on Facebook, you know?
Yeah, it's not like,
It's not like it's over.
Yeah.
And so it's just like one of those things where I think you got to think about it not just in terms of traffic channels, but also categories, you know, industry categories and product categories and what to sell. It takes somebody to believe that it could work before you put in the hard work to make it work.
Speaking of traffic sources, which are the traffic sources that you see the most success in, like the most scale?
Yeah, it really depends on the product and the product category. And I think it has a lot to do, with demographics, because different channels have different groups of people on it. Yeah. But then also the creative, you know, like every channel has a different way of being able to promote a product and a different creative strategy. And so often that determines which product is going to work. And so we see different channels working aggressively for different types of products that we're selling. And so I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all model. I think the best way to look at, you know, channels is who are on these channels, what creative strategies are working, and which products are going to align with those strategies.
Yes, yeah. So you have a lot of health gadgets. Mm-hmm. What do you see in your experience to be like the top 4 traffic sources that work for you?
Yeah, so we see a lot of success in native. We see a lot of success in, you know, display. We see a lot, like just display networks. We see a lot of success in YouTube because you can tell the story of the product. Yeah. We see success in Meta, you know, and TikTok. Part of it comes down to, you know, again, the demographic.
The demographic. So younger, you go on TikTok. Older, you can run on Meta and Google.
Exactly.
/YouTube.
But it's a mix of like where the people are and then also which creative is going to sell the product best, you know? Do you need longer form? Can it be shorter and punchier? Like how much information do you need to give somebody before they're going to buy? Yeah, that's why we like the affiliation model, is because we can find partners that are experts on different traffic channels and we can work with them and they can kind of test products they think are going to work with the creative strategies that are relevant. Yeah. What you see with Giddyup is we make creatives for kind of a plethora of channels.
Yeah, all of
and
them.
Then whichever one starts taking off, we'll go make more in that vein, you know? And so that's kind of our strategy there.
Yeah, and as an affiliate, also smart to focus on one traffic source, really crack that, so then you have a better understanding of the funnels, the ads that are working, and you become really good at that.
Totally.
Why are you still doing this? You made a lot of money. You talked billions in sales.
Yeah.
Why are you still doing this?
It's a great question. I think that the honest answer is that a lot of people depend on the work we do. There's a lot of marketers. I got a big team. We got a lot of advertisers, and it's a responsibility once you build something. Like at first, you know, I was an entrepreneur because I didn't want to have a boss, and then I realized I became the boss. And then when you are a boss, you realize like, oh man, the work we do feeds a lot of people, and it's not just the direct people here and their families, but the marketers and their families and the brands and their families. And so, you know, ultimately, like I like the work. I've always liked the work. But at Giddyup, our mission is to help people to inspire and empower people to live a little better. And so the products we sell, you know, like we focus on how does this help people live better, right? And then the opportunity we provide marketers in terms of what we provide them, how we work with them, the goal is to help them live better. And the same thing with our advertisers. And so we have this win-win-win model that if the shopper's winning, if the brand is winning and the marketer's winning, everyone's winning. And so I love that model. I think it's inspiring to our team. But at the same time, it's like once you get going, you know, it's like, what else am I going to do with my time? You know, like I like this.
And very profitable and all combined is just like, yeah, why not? What would you do anyways?
Yeah. Well, I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah.
You know, I like to do lots of things with my time, but you know, all of them are hobbies. This is like actual business. It provides economic value to the world, and you know, it provides good jobs.
Topher,
Thanks, bro.
thanks for having us.
Yeah.
And I see you in Barcelona.
If you've been thinking about making money online or finally breaking free from your 9 to 5, affiliate marketing is one of the best ways to do it, but only if you do it the right way. You've just learned from one of the best in the game, and now it's time to take action. I've put a link in the description where you can start learning affiliate marketing today and see exactly how people are making real money online. Peace!